but it really is too fast-paced for its own sake. What probably would have helped some setup was if we had gotten some of Kruger's backstory before this point, or a few moments previously where he looked at his sword and just considered it. Then again, by this point, foreshadowing never seems to be something done very often in any Power Ranger series. However, one good thing was that Kruger by this point had been established as a character in his own right, wise, accepting, and very balanced. As such, seeing his behavior in this episode comes off as a genuine change for him, and we understand why. The story itself is structured very well, and definitely one of the best of the season. In the next two-parter, Wired, we get to see other cool aspects of an organization of Rangers. The B Squad is training the 5 members of D Squad, yet another group that could potentially become Rangers later on. There is a hierarchical structure as they tell one cadet that if she continues her impressive work, she'll make C Squad in no time. This does beg the question of why the B Squad Rangers haven't already been promoted to A Squad status, considering the main A Squad is considered MIA, but whatever. In the same episode, they unveil the Delta Base Defense System. The system allows the Delta Base new weaponry and modes. The building literally becomes a tank, mobile and powerful in its own right. Phase 2 of the system reconfigures the building into the Delta Command Megazord with a full cockpit for all 6 Rangers. I've got to admit, I hate when the Megazord separates the Rangers, so whenever we get to see them together, it's fantastic. At the end of Wired Part 2, as punishment for another failure, Mora is transformed back into an adult whose name is Morgana. Bridge manages to expand his civilian powers to make himself partially telepathic. During the same episode where they reveal this, a glowing orb starts following the Rangers around for a few episodes. Also, Grum distracts the Rangers to steal a material called iridium, which will allow him to merge various metals together to increase their strength. In the following episode, Dismissed, Kruger calls out Grum, wanting to have a direct confrontation with him. We also learn it was Kruger who cut off Grum's other antler. Grum arrives on a motorcycle. Wow, you're the head of an evil empire, and you travel around on a motorcycle like you were friggin' Ghost Rider. Oh, and by the way, this epic battle is basically the Shadow Ranger on an ATV, and Grum on a motorcycle shooting lasers at each other and having Kalash explosions behind them. Or to the sides of them sometimes, which really doesn't make any sense. And then Grum just retreats, and it doesn't feel like anything was accomplished. By the episode perspective, the Rangers finally see the glowing orb as it saves them from some Crybots. However, the episode itself is an interesting take on a clip show. Instead of showing clips from previous episodes, it shows the same fight scene from each of their points of view, emphasizing how awesome the individual Ranger is in the eyes of the others. While it doesn't really take it to its full potential, it gets dull seeing basically the same thing 6 times in a row. The episode better serves as an example of the team, well, being a team. When the show began, Kruger mentioned how the 3 Rangers were at odds with each other, and while we've seen them be friends with one another, they still get into fights. By this episode, we see that while on an interpersonal level, they still got some ego problems, during actual combat, they work as a team and execute their mission very well. At least at this point. Next up is the 2-parter Messenger. Boom, in his spare time, constructs a radio with the intention of finding old radio broadcasts beamed into space years ago. But instead, he picks up a distress call from the future, the year 2040, and specifically the date July 11th. And the voice on the radio states that it's the 15th anniversary of the Trubian Empire's takeover of Earth.
So guys, that was my reaction to Linkaras' History of Power Rangers SPD Part 1 video. So, if you guys haven't seen his channel, I highly recommend that you guys should check it out. His History of Power Ranger videos are so awesome, so if you guys haven't seen those videos, you guys should check them out. If you're somebody who's not a fan of comic book reviewers, that's fine. But if you watch his History of Power Rangers videos, they're really good. So yeah, you guys should definitely watch them. So, please be sure to comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, press the notification bell to be notified about future videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye.